Hello and welcome, my friends. This is Jennifer from Mystic Star. I want to thank you guys so very much for spending some time with me today and watching this video. This is going to be my weekly group reading for the week of September 6th through to the 12th. Well, we're here in September now. The anxiety is still really high. There's a lot of concern over what the startup of schools and many businesses is going to bring for us in our everyday, and how that's going to impact the virus. There's a lot of what ifs and oh my's that we're trying to contend with. This week, what I want to do is focus in on how we can stay in that high vibration to better overcome our individual challenges. The anxieties and fears that are floating around right now can only exacerbate what it is we're trying to overcome. When we start to shift the energy from that low vibration fear base to a higher vibration of love and light, we're able to overcome these challenges with greater ease. And knowing these challenges in advance also helps prepare us so that we can overcome them. It's not so much of a shock or a blindside. It's knowing and being able to use that critical thinking and overcome whatever you may face. The cards I've chosen for this week's reading, I was super excited as we got into the fall. We can start to change up the color palette of the cards. And the Dark Wood Tarot really just spoke to me. It does have that darker feel to it, but it has a lot of that autumn colors that we're starting to see come forward. Then I paired it with the Energy Oracle to add a little bit more vibrance, because we are in the beginning of September, and add that direction that we need. Like always, there's a link below to both these fantastic decks, so should they speak to you, you can go check them out for yourselves. Now, the selections I had this week, my friends, I decided to go with a little bit of a raw edge because many of us are feeling a little bit vulnerable right now. I have an amethyst here, I have a rainbow fluorite, and then I have, of course, the rose quartz. I want you to look at these crystals and choose whichever one resonates with you right now. It may not be your favorite, but whichever one resonates with you and draws your attention to it. Then I want you to go into the description box below. I have timestamps there. You can click on the correlating timestamp to the crystal of your choice, and it'll take you straight to your reading, and I will see you there. Hello and welcome, my Amethyst friends. This reading is especially for you. Now, like always, I have the full decks of both the tarot and the oracle cards, so you get the most comprehensive and meaningful reading for you. Without further ado, let's see what the week holds for my Amethyst friends. What can my Amethyst friends expect from the week of September 6th through to the 12th? The Thinking Woman. What a fantastic card. So the Thinking Woman is all about that critical thinking skill. We know from the onset of this card, we need to use our head rather than our heart. Like I said in the introduction, we have that anxious, fearful energy floating around. It's going to take a lot to transmute that. However, we can start combating it and reflecting it back by using that critical thinking skill. It's a skill that we should be holding sacred. There aren't very many species on this planet that have that critical thinking ability to be able to stop and reflect on what's happening and making that choice that is for their greater good. This week, it's going to be imperative, my Amethyst friends, that we do take that step back, that we take that deep breath, and we start to reflect on what is actually happening. What are people actually saying? And then if we're not too sure, this is an important piece, reflecting it back. Oh, this is what I'm hearing you say. Am I right? Or am I not? Because sometimes when we reflect back to people what we think that we're hearing, they're not conveying the message very clearly. Which leads me to another important aspect. We need to be focusing in on that throat chakra. Communication is vital. We need to be open to giving our knowledge and, more importantly, receiving it. Part of that thinking woman is having all the knowledge, and some of it will come from books, some of it will come from that astral realm, but there's also going to be that element of knowledge shared by others. She's looking at that audience, at that other. We need to be open to this communication, to this information, in any way and form that it is shared with us. Many moons ago, it was probably one of the very first meditations I did, I worked with Archangel Gabriel on that communication. It was right at the height of all the retrogrades, and Mercury had just gone into retrograde. This is going to be a great week to possibly participate in or repeat this meditation, because communication is going to be a key element for your week. That knowledge, like I said, many forms. That meditation helps remove and lessen blockages and help open us up to receiving the information that's going to be for our greater good. So let's go into this week a bit more for you guys. What can my Amethyst friends expect from the beginning of the week? The Fool. The 0 card in the Major Arcana talks about that carefree energy, that new beginning. September does offer us an opportunity that we'd never seen before. The energies, the experience, our vibration, it all equates to an amazing journey. And that journey does have that element of trust. Trusting in that the universe is trying to bring us back to the right path. And that path does sometimes take those leaps of faith. We can have that leap of faith and still remain with that strong, stable environment. Trusting in that, yes, there is a plan. We won't know it until the very end or until we reflect back on it. That saying that hindsight is 20/20 is really true sometimes. Knowing that there is a plan, trusting in that plan, most importantly, trusting in ourselves. When we prepared to come into this lifetime, we brought everything we needed with us. The amazing thing about the Fool is that everything that, in this case, she is going to need, she packed in this little bag. All the tools, the abilities, and the skills. And the pieces and aspects that she may need some help and guidance with on the physical plane, she also packed them as well. Contracting with different beings, different individuals to be there. And that's exactly what we did. Through a lot of preparation and planning, we ensured that we had everything we need to experience and learn all that we needed to, all that we wanted to. Trust in the plan, trust in yourself, trust in your abilities, most importantly, be open to this experience. It goes back to being open to that information, but to experience all that life has. All that we are being offered right now. Because when we start to slow down, that's when you're going to see those opportunities come forward. Let's go into the middle of the week here. What can my amethyst friends expect from the middle of the week? The Sun. The Sun is the 19th card in the Major Arcana. I know that when I said we needed that critical thinking, that most of us went to that worst case scenario. It's kind of this weird gift that we have as humans. We go to that worst case scenario. That critical thinking, like I said in the introduction, is going to help you bypass this anxiety and this fear that's all around us. The middle of the week, we're going to see that sun, that warmth, and our vibration raise. The more we take that time, give ourselves that opportunity to experience the wonders and joys that are all around us, that's when we're going to start to see the beauty in what is happening, the beauty in our everyday. I know in my community, the leaves are already starting to turn. The fall offers us those beautiful, vibrant colors. There's a lot to be thankful for, and there's a lot to experience. The more we get ourselves out of this fear-based model and more into that joyous, loving model, we're going to be able to open ourselves up again to more opportunities, to more abundance. Now, I do want to say, yes, we do need to keep ourselves safe. However, going out into our community and going for a walk and enjoying all that our community has to offer us, enjoying those beautiful nature areas, those parks, those beautiful hikes, using your time wisely and making those choices that are going to make you feel better. Getting that fresh, crisp air, enjoying that sunrise, basking in the sunset, embracing your day, and being open to the experiences and knowledge that you're going to gain. It's not only going to help overcome the challenges that you're going to face this week, but the weeks and months to come. Let's see what the end of the week brings. What can my amethyst friends expect from the end of the week? The Seven of Wands. Well, like everything else, your week is going to ebb and flow. There's going to be some anxieties. Anytime we start new things, when new aspects shift and change, we have a bit of anxiety and fear. Of course, you're going to see as you start to conquer your fears, you conquer those worries, that you start to feel better. Those opportunities arise, which again creates some concerns. And we head back into that fear. Now, sevens may be a bit of a challenge number in tarot. However, because they are a lucky number, they're usually victorious. That wand is that inner flame, that inner passion. The Seven of Wands talks about not backing down, no matter what. This is really when we need our critical thinking. We are going to feel some challenge. We're going to feel a little bit of a bump. And again, each of us are going to be very different on how scary and how hard that challenge is going to be. The Seven of Wands, though, talks about having that leg up. In the original deck, Pamela Coleman Smith drew a man. He is batting down 6 other wands. However, he is standing up a little bit higher than the others. So he has a better vantage point. He's going down while the others are going up. Using that knowledge, our abilities and skills to our advantage to overcome whatever darkness, whatever challenge that's going to arise. Many of us are going to feel it with interactions with others. So at the workplace, we're going to feel it in our friendship rings, in our family circles, because people are being impacted by that anxiety. Now, that said, I'm not suggesting that we beat on our friends, our colleagues, our family. As much as we may feel that we should, maybe knock some sense into them, we need to use that knowledge. Like I said at the very beginning, we need to use that reflection. I'm hearing you say, this is what I'm taking from this conversation. I just want to clarify with you. That clarification and feedback is usually enough to put people in check. We're not reacting. We're not taking that ego-driven, emotional roller coaster and literally taking our sticks out and beating them with it. We're reflecting it back to them and seeing how they take that information back at them. So again, that critical thinking will go a long way in overcoming some of that interpersonal stuff. All right, let's go on to some challenges here. What challenge will my Amethyst friends face for the week of September 6th through the 12th? The 6 of Wands. Now, 6s are about balance and harmony. Again, we're back to that wand, that inner fire, that inner flame. Now, the 6 of Wands talks about being victorious. We're going to question our ability to conquer and overcome the challenges that are brought up. It's going to fan that flame of anxiety and fear. There's a lot going on, and we're not going to feel that we're enough. We're going to be questioning our abilities and our skills, which will also start to tarnish that victory that the 7 naturally has. When we start to question and second guess ourselves, that's when we start to really feel that sluggish gooiness of our ego. My suggestion to you when we're starting to question ourselves, question our ability to be victorious and overcome what we're facing, I did another meditation a number of weeks ago with Archangel Uriel. Again, a fantastic meditation to visit or revisit to help strengthen our connection to our natural abilities and skills. He helps fan the flames of our internal fire. Part of what we're here for is to experience and learn. It's unfortunate that our ego can impact us so much, and we need to use those tools that are right at hand, that we can use and reuse to our advantage. Let's go on to some blessings. What blessing? Oh, of course it went under the table. Oh. What blessings can my Amethyst friends embrace for the week of September 6th through to the 12th? Okay, so we have one under the table. At least I didn't get too much into the cameras here. The door to romance. So for my friends who are looking for that special someone, their soulmate, this is a fantastic week to put yourself out there, especially with the Fool and the Sun. The Fool, that new beginning, that new relationship. That Sun, brightens and warms things tremendously. For my friends who are in a relationship, this is a fantastic time to work on and strengthen that relationship. What we put into a relationship is what we put out. Again, that Fool helps to dive into that relationship, strengthening that relationship and strengthening your connection to that person. The Sun, of course, warms and allows that relationship to flourish. So this week does give you a lot of opportunity to strengthen that relationship. Bear in mind that we do have that critical thinking, and some of our personal relationships are going to be a challenge. Rather than reacting, clarify. Find out what is really going on. That will help strengthen and really reinforce that relationship. Then we had one fly up over here. Goddess of the Moon. This card is very much connected to the moon in tarot. That mysterious unknown power, that nurturing feminine energy. Taking that time to nurture ourselves, nurture that important person in our lives, goes a long way. The more we're able to care for ourselves, nurture ourselves, using our skills and abilities and our knowledge to better our situation and improve us, the higher our vibrational signature becomes. And that energetic signature is what soulmates are attracted to. And yes, we all have soulmates. And it's that energy signature that they're looking for. They don't remember what gender, what you look like physically. They're not attracted to that. It's the energy signature that is going to attract them to you. So that nurturing, that time for self, whether that be those nice bubble baths, the meditation, eating well, drinking lots of water, taking care of yourself physically will help to raise that vibration and send out that energy signature, and you become that beacon in the darkness. And that's what this week can offer you, especially if you are looking for that special someone. Of course, if you're in that relationship, that nurturing of self helps to strengthen your ability to cope with living with or spending lots of time with another person. We can and do frustrate each other. It's another one of our strange superpowers. We're able to challenge and frustrate each other quite quickly. But nurturing and caring for self will help you be more equipped to questioning and putting yourself in that person's shoes. Rather than reacting, you're able to stay in that high vibration. Again, really reinforcing that loving relationship. So this week does offer us the ability to really reconnect and connect in with people that are very important to us. So we're going to end off on any final thoughts, wisdom, and guidance that we can share with my Amethyst friends for the week of September 6th through to the 12th. The Page of Pentacles. Pages are that childlike, innocent energy. It's full of inquisitive, playful energy. We can't forget the fun in this week. That fun goes a long way with those relationships, including the relationship with self. When we add that element of fun and play into our everyday, again, we open ourselves up to even more of that high vibrational energy which opens us up to more opportunities and more possibilities. Now, we are dealing with the Page of Pentacles. Pentacles are that earthy energy. We need to take that time to ensure that we are grounded, we are centered, so we are more able to access that frontal lobe and use our critical thinking skills. That front part of our brain is where we access that high processing ability. We need to be well grounded to be able to access that front part rather than accessing the back lower part of our brain where we're looking at that reactive energy. So taking that time while you're doing your week, especially when we're feeling those challenges, that we're grounding ourselves, and in some cases we are going to want to pre-plan. Have that tiger iron or that black obsidian crystal with us. Any crystal that has that grounding property connects with our root chakra, so anything on the red or black hues that has a great grounding energy. Using those to our advantage goes back to those tools to overcome those challenges that we're facing. The Ten of Pentacles. Tens are always an ending and a beginning card. That pentacle, again, we're being drawn back to that earthy energy. Now, the Ten of Pentacles is a family card. We have to remember, we're not doing this alone. In this card, we talked about that. We talked about how we pack in those people and beings that we need for support. Well, we need to access them too, especially when we're really questioning our abilities. Those friends and family that see the light, that want to see us succeed, will be able to help you see those amazing abilities and skills that we have within ourselves. And it's up to us to ask for that help. Again, it goes back to that communication that I spoke of right at square one. Asking for the help that we need and being there to support those who are there for us. And finally, the Ace of Cups, the Holy Grail. That Holy Grail is right at hand. Now, I've said a number of times, especially up here, that we've had the ability to embrace opportunities that we hadn't known were there. Those opportunities are up to us to grasp. Things will not be handed to us on a silver platter. We do need to work. We do need to experience them. And it's up to us to take that Holy Grail, drink from that cup of life, and experience all the amazingness that is there right at hand. I want to thank you guys so very much for joining me today and watching this video. I hope that you found this video fun and helpful, and you're able to gain some insight and direction into what the week holds for you. If you like this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. There is so much more coming your way, my friends. The best way to stay connected so you don't miss out on any of this amazing insight and healing is to subscribe to my channel and hit that little red bell so you don't miss a video. Also, if you enjoyed this video and want to support me making more videos and meditations, I have a Patreon page. Now, I know a lot of people have Patreon pages, and yes, like everybody else, I've got lots of tiers and perks, which do include free readings and healings. However, I also have a Patreon exclusive video series. I do exclusive Patreon videos for my supporters. I provided a helpful link below, so why not go check it out. Until tomorrow, my Amethyst friends. Hello and welcome, my Fluorite friends. This reading is especially for you. Now, like always, I have the full decks of both the tarot and the oracle cards, so you get the most comprehensive and meaningful reading for you. Without further ado, let's see what the week holds for my Fluorite friends. What can my Fluorite friends expect from the week of September 6th through to the 12th? The World. What a fantastic card. Similar to the Dancer, or the 21st card in the Major Arcana, the World, we're looking at those opportunities, those next steps. It's up to us to add light to this darkness, to experience all that we can. We're at that crossroads. We're heading into a new season. The fall equinox is on September 22nd. We're at that crossroads. We're trying to figure out what we're going to do and what's going to happen for us in that fall phase. We know that fall equates to abundance. We start to see things coming to fruition. Our hard work is being paid off. We have that ability to start to kind of prepare ourselves for that long winter. And that's really what the fall season is about, that preparation. All our hard work that has brought us to this point. We start to see the days get cooler, we start to see the nights get longer. It's up to us to embrace that light and bring it in when things seem dark and cold. So there's a lot of decisions that we want to make. We want to start to prepare ourselves for that snowy, cold time. Because we know that when that snow starts to fly and those nights start to get longer, that depressive, sad energy starts to rise. We need to keep ourselves high vibrational. We need to keep working on ourselves. We need to keep that light and love burning bright. So let's see what the week is going to hold for you guys. And what's more, how we can start to make some positive choices for us right now so that in the winter we're not so overwhelmed. What can my Fluorite friends expect from the beginning of the week? The Ten of Wands. This week starts off with a bang, guys. So 10s are about ending and beginning in tarot. Anytime you see that 10, you're looking at that progression. Wands, we're looking at that inner fire, that flame. The 10 of Wands is the quintessential, you were working way harder than you need to, my friends. That evaluation and reflection in to where you're spending your energy, how you're working through the time of the day. What are you doing? What do you need to be doing? And what is it that you're doing for others that they need to start to pull up their socks and do? And yes, I acknowledge there are those of us who have signed up for a bit more of a challenge in this lifetime. There are many of us that are caregivers to young children, to family members, and to parents. This is what we have to do versus what others can and should be doing. Balancing out that workload a little bit. And heaven forbid that we ask for the help that we need. Many of us are feeling that bogged down, kind of burnt out energy. It's up to us to rekindle that passion, that inner flame, because it's that passion and creativity that's going to help us through the darkest of winters. Being able to express ourselves through that creative notion will help to allow us to overcome the sadnesses that come with that darkness. Asking for the help that we need, and start to give back some of that duty that we've taken from others, especially with our children. I know a lot of us like to hold on to things and allow them to be kids, especially as they're trying to struggle through this virus and everything else that's going on. Giving them the responsibility will also allow them to grow and spread their own wings. Everybody has a very different journey when it comes to responsibilities, and it's up to you to evaluate what's going to be more meaningful and most meaningful for you. Woo! I didn't even get the question out and I have a card on the table. What about the middle of the week? What can my fluorite friends expect from the middle of the week? The one thing I'm noticing about this deck as I use it more and more, it's very clear with its cards. I've had cards under the table, I've had cards flying. Very clear with its message. I absolutely adore this deck. The Five of Pentacles. So fives in tarot are always a conflict number. We always have challenge with that five. Pentacle, we're looking at that earthy energy. The Five of Pentacles talks about that disconnect. We feel disconnected from our support systems in the community, our family, our friends. And we have anxieties about reconnecting with them, especially given everybody going back to school and work. Additionally, we also have that disconnect from the higher up, that high vibrational support team. They're there for us, and they have no problem hearing you. We're just not paying attention to the messages that are being sent back to us. They understand our challenges, they understand where we're really struggling, and they're trying desperately to reach you. However, we're so caught up in all that we need to do that we're not slowing down and we're not paying attention to those messages. Those messages are there. We just need to slow down. Your guides, your guardian, your high vibrational beings leave messages and symbols hidden within plain sight. Most of us, through fear or fear of prosecution, shut down our clairaudience, which is hearing, and clairvoyance, which is the seeing. And they're the two hardest to reconnect in with because of that fear-based shutdown. So you need to use other clairs to start to receive and be open to those messages, and most importantly, feelings. Because the one thing that we never shut down was our feelings, that clairsentience, where we feel things. And also the claircognizance, which is that knowing. Unfortunately, they're the two that we have the most ease at shutting down and saying, yeah, but everybody does that. Everybody feels that. Everybody knows that. It's that second guessing that we need to work on. That connection to help us understand those messages. Help us strengthen our abilities. Because when we start to strengthen our abilities, and again, this goes back to the need for time, because if you're going to work on your clairs, you're going to need time to do that. Not exorbitant amounts of time in the day, but time. You have that ability to start to work on it, but it does take some work. So you can't do everything for everybody and still do things for yourself. That's why the Ten of Wands came before the Five of Pentacles, because you need to focus in on rebalancing ourselves, giving up some of what we're doing, or asking for more help, so we can find that connection that we're missing and so needed right now. And then on to the end of the week. What can my fluorite friends expect from the end of the week? Oh, it's a beautiful card. The Nine of Pentacles. So the Nine of Pentacles talks about all that we've achieved, all that hard work in our life, because we have abundance everywhere. And again, that's easy to minimize and to disregard. It's one of our weird superhero powers. We can disregard and minimize all that beauty and abundance in a click of the fingers. Our ego is horrible that way. Also helps with that disconnect, because the more we're listening to our ego and minimizing what we've done, the lower our vibration, the more disconnected we feel. The more disconnected we feel, the less we're able to explore and experience. So, it goes back to being able to connect into you, using your skills, your abilities, and continuing to work on self. The end of the week, what we want to do is do some reflection. Look at all that you have in your life. Look at what's going well, and look at some of those pieces and aspects that need that nurturing. There may be pieces and aspects that we put down years and months ago, which could feel like a lifetime ago, because some of that stuff is stuff we put down when we shut down. It goes back to those clairs. We shut down them when we were kids. Either we saw or heard something that terrified us, or we had that fear of prosecution that led us to shut down. Tapping into those abilities, those connections, and those beings. Most of us had a very positive relationship with one or more high vibrational group. Many of us danced with the fairies. We swam with the mermaids. And we were told that that was our imagination. Yet it felt so real. There's a fine line between imagination and high vibration. This week brings you the ability to really rebalance ourselves. Looking at what's truly important, and most importantly, how you yourself want to go forward. You have a choice. You can stay in this stagnation, or you can start to spread your wings and embrace your abundance. Embrace your abilities, embrace your skills. It's one of the things about being human. We have that free will, that choice. And my friends, the choice is yours. You need to make that choice that's best for you. So let's look at the challenge of the week, because the choice isn't the challenge. It's something that you just need to make a decision on. And lack of decision is a decision on its own. What challenge will my fluorite friends face for the week of September 6th through to the 12th? Temperance, the 14th card in the Major Arcana. It's a beautiful card. Temperance is about balance and energy flow. And we're going to feel that pinch. We're going to feel very unbalanced. The more we dive into reflection and balancing out our lives, the more unbalanced we feel, because our ego starts to scream and tantrum. Imagine a little kid stomping his feet and flailing around on the ground. That's your ego. It's essential for us this week that we take that time to maintain our balance, our energy flow. Now, with the Temperance card, and I absolutely love the Temperance card, the water doesn't go down from the top cup to the bottom. It's actually going from the bottom cup to the top. You have to know tarot to know that, because you can just see the energy or the water flowing. That energy flow is going to be essential. The more time we take for self and we work on our skills and our abilities, that connection in, and most importantly, we work on that balance, you're going to see that your ego has less of a hold on you and you have more power this week. This is a very important lesson for most of us, that we have the ability to tame our ego and use those aspects and pieces that we may have thought as a challenge or something hard to do as a support. If we head into this week pre-planned that we know balance, groundedness, and centeredness are going to be a challenge for us, we can add that in. We take the knowledge that this is going to be a challenge and say, okay, let's look at those tools, those abilities, those skills, and how I can ensure I can make the decision that's for my greater good and highest vibration. Look at the groundingness. You could carry with you or wear a bracelet or a pendant that has a crystal connected to your root chakra. Well, anything red or black will work. You can work on your chakras, acknowledging them, connecting in with them. You can look at making sure that you are on that stable ground through meditation, through visualizations. It's really quite simple, actually, especially when you break it down. We're not saying each day that, you're going to have to spend 45 minutes to 6 hours to do this. Quick, simple things, preparing ourselves so that you're able to do this. You can, especially during the middle of the week when we're feeling that big disconnect, you could do a meditation I did with Archangel Gabriel regarding communication and connection. It's 30 minutes. It's pretty easy. It's a guided meditation. Again, when you're trying to figure out what's in your best interest, I did a meditation with Archangel Uriel that will reignite that inner passion, connects in to your skills and your abilities. I have a whole playlist. You can go through whichever one strikes your fancy, whichever one resonates with you. We've worked with and we will continue to work with the archangels. There's lots of them coming forward as we raise our vibration. It's just up to us to open ourselves up and, use our words. Ask for the help that we need. So, balance and energy flow will be a challenge for us this week. Archangel Sandalphon just came to me and asked me to remind you guys, we did a meditation together a number of weeks, many moons ago, on bringing in that harmony and balance. It's a fantastic one to counter and bring temperance into an ally for us. Let's go on to blessings. What blessing can my fluorite friends embrace for the week of September 6th through to the 12th? So looking at these pictures, and tarot is very pictorial, these two ladies have very similar poses. These two people are fleeing from the Ten of Wands, heading straight to the Nine of Pentacles. That talks about that shift that is needed. Part of tarot is, yes, connecting in with the cards individually, but another part is connecting in with that whole picture. The thinking man. We need to use our head rather than our heart this week. Our heart is too connected in to that emotional response of our ego. Taking that time, reflecting in, because reflection is not something our ego does, and looking at that picture. Like I said, you sometimes have to take that step back to look at what's happening on a whole, rather than in that moment or aspect. Taking that time, reflecting in, and making the decision that's of your greater and highest good. the sixth chakra, Archangel Metatron. So the sixth chakra is your third eye, which is very much connected to the clairs that I was talking about earlier. That connection that communication. It's really important for you. Archangel Metatron is not usually one I really connect with my third eye so much. He's usually connected in with your crown chakra, which is your seventh chakra, or if you're working from the 12 chakras, he's at the gateway. He helps us understand that universal wisdom. And he is going to be an important archangel for you as you move forward on your journey. I also did a meditation with him, and it's fantastic. So having both those elements as a support is going to be vital for you. Even if you don't understand what Archangel Metatron would do for you, my suggestion would be ask Archangel Metatron to come into your dream and to sit down and have that conversation. And I know that it sounds kind of hokey that you're going to go dream with Archangel Metatron, but while you're sleeping, you can retain the information that's very vital to you without the resistance of your ego. Your ego can't stop you from learning while you sleep. Your ego can't stop you from healing while you sleep. Using that time to your advantage is a super amazing skill that we can do. Before you go to sleep, ask your guardian, your guides, that those high vibrational beings that you need for your greater good will come in, work with you, share their knowledge, help you to remember that knowledge when you wake up, and heal you as you need for your greater good. And you'll be surprised at how rejuvenated you feel the next day. So let's go on to any final thoughts, wisdom, and guidance that we can share with my fluorite friends for the week of September 6th through to the 12th. Oops, we have cards everywhere. The Four of Pentacles. That grounded and balanced energy is going to be essential. Anytime you see a 4 in tarot, you're looking at that very stable, grounded energy. When you add in that earthy pentacle, you're adding in that importance of grounding and ensuring that you are functioning from that very grounded, stable energy. You've got a lot of pentacles here, my friends. Like I said, that grounding crystal may be very essential for you this week so that you are able to make the best decision for you. The King of Wands. Kings are the fully developed personality of that suit. They have the most power, the most control. A wand, we're back to that passion, to that creativity. That passion and creativity is what's going to drive us forward. It's going to bring us that fulfillment and that abundance. It's going to amplify what we already have, and then it's going to intensify other areas that need it. That creative aspect helps us to express, well, how we're feeling and what's going on internally for us, and helps us share our light, our passions with others. And sometimes you feel like your passion may not be as grand as everybody else. Again, that goes back to the minimization, our stupid superpower that we're able to shut ourselves down even before we start. Embracing that creativity, no matter what it is, whether it be mechanics, engineering, computer programming, or something that is a little bit more aesthetically creative, where you're looking at things like floral design, baking, because I can tell you baking is a real big hit with most people. What have you, like painting, writing. Express yourself in a meaningful way for you. The list of creative endeavors is long. The important aspect is embracing it and not minimizing it. Allow it to ignite. Allow it to drive you forward. The Page of Pentacles. Pages are that childlike, innocent energy. That pentacle, again, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 pentacles. 2 wands and 1 major arcana. The Page of Pentacles reminds us of the importance of play. Pages are that childlike, innocent energy. It's full of playful, inquisitive energy. And it's in that playfulness that we're going to find that connection to our creativity, to that inner passion, that inquisitive mind. We're looking at that reflection that we need, the choices that need to be made. When we're looking at this week, it's important that we have that balance. We want to make those decisions. However, if we get bogged down too much in some of this decision making, that temperance is really going to flare up. We balance that out with some play and creativity. That's exactly when you're going to see her turn from an obstacle to an ally, especially if we do some foreplanning and working on self. So we do have 4 pentacles. We also have the 4 of Pentacles. In angel messages, when you have that multiple 4, the angels are telling you that this is a time to work on that foundation and that you need to be working from that grounded space, which really amplifies what we've been talking about. As you can see, sometimes messages are hidden within plain sight. It takes a little bit just to slow down and take stock of what we're looking at. I want to thank you guys so very much for spending time with me today and watching this video. I hope that you found this video fun and helpful, and you're able to gain some insight and direction into what the week holds for you. If you like this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel for the latest content. There is so much more amazing coming your way, my friends. The best way to stay connected so you don't miss out on any of this amazing insight and healing is to subscribe to my channel and hit that little red bell so you don't miss a video. Also, if you enjoyed this video and want to support me in making more, I have a Patreon page with many tiers and lots of perks. In some of those tiers, those perks are private readings and healings with myself. I also include Patreon exclusive videos that I create just for my supporters. I provided a helpful link below, so why not go check it out. Until tomorrow, my rainbow fluorite friends. Hello and welcome, my rose quartz friends. This reading is especially for you. Now, like always, I have the full decks of both the tarot and the oracle cards, so you get the most comprehensive and meaningful reading for you. Without further ado, let's see what the week has for my rose quartz friends. What can my rose quartz friends expect from the week of September 6th through to the 12th? Thinking woman. This week, it's going to be essential, my rose quartz friends, that we work from our head rather than our heart. Those critical thinking skills are going to be vital for us to making the correct and high vibrational decision for us. Our emotions are going to lead us astray. They are also going to cause us a bit of trouble. That emotional gut response of our ego is going to cause us some challenges throughout the week. That critical, reflective skill is going to be essential to overcoming some possible confrontations that we're going to have throughout the week. When we stay in that high vibrational, reflective standpoint, we're able to check in with those friends and family, those colleagues, and ensure that we're getting the correct message, that the questions that they're asking, we're receiving appropriately. Communication is going to be a vital tool for you this week. Something that you can use to add to your repertoire in your tool set this week would be a meditation that I did with Archangel Gabriel regarding receiving and giving information. Works on our communication, works on the communication of people in our physical realm, and then also with our high vibrational support team. It's something that you can visit or revisit this week to support you in overcoming any challenges, helping to ensure that you're receiving and giving information appropriately, because it's going to be information that is provided for us that's going to help us not only this week, but the weeks to come. And yes, some of it will be information that we receive from books, some of it from our high vibrational support team, and more of it is going to come from that interpersonal connection. She's looking at an audience, at a person, and it's that connection and understanding of what they're sharing that's going to help her move forward and gain the information that's going to help her overcome whatever challenges or obstacles she's going to face. And the same is true for us. So let's look at this week a little bit more, my friends. What can my rose quartz friends expect from the beginning of the week? The Star. The 17th card in the Major Arcana. It's our Hopes and Dreams card. The beginning of the week, we need to take that reflection, that critical thinking, and explore what it is we're hoping and dreaming about. Reflecting in on where we want to go. Sometimes it's important to take that time and give ourselves permission to reflect on and map out where we want to go. We've started to change and evolve over the last 8 months, 9 months, years. It's essential that our hopes and our dreams and those long-term goals evolve and shift with us. We need to reflect on what we're looking at right now, possibly amend and meld that hope, that dream, those goals to reflect where we're at right now. Just like how we have to shift and reflect on those core values every once in a while, we also need to do it with those hopes and dreams. Additionally, the star, and it's kind of hard to see in this card, but the star itself talks about balance and energy flow. The original card that Pamela Coleman Smith drew has a maiden who's kneeling on the land with one foot on the water. It's a very awkward position to try and be in, but she makes it look easy. She does it with grace and style. Then she has 2 jugs. One, she's pouring energy or water onto the land, and the other, she's pouring into the water. That balance and energy flow is going to be an essential part of not only this week, but the weeks to come. As we build up into that winter time, we're slowly getting into that fall season. It's not going to be long till we're seeing that snow fly. And we start to see those nights get longer. That can be very challenging for many people. Working on and balancing ourselves out will go a long way in overcoming the challenges that are to come with the winter ahead. Most of us have that depressive state and that heartache coming forward in the darkness. What about the middle of the week? What does the middle of the week bring? My rose quartz friends. The Four of Cups. Now, fours in tarot add stability into the reading. Fours are a foundational staple number. That cup, we're looking at that intuitional support. The Four of Cups talks about missing messages and wisdom from the higher vibrational beings. We're focusing in on 3 cups. We're focusing in on that every day. We are not paying attention or acknowledging that 4th cup that brings us that light, that love, and that direction. The Holy Grail that the universe is trying to offer us. We're ignoring it, and we can't embrace it. We're missing some big pieces. And those big pieces would really help us with those hopes and dreams. This week is really talking about that reflection and that critical thinking. Like I said, it's an important aspect of our journey. We need to reflect in, we need to check in so that we're able to move forward and forward with purpose. What about the end of the week? What does the end of the week bring? My rose quartz friends. The King of Pentacles. Love it. Midas touch. The end of the week, we're going to see things start to break. Okay? Kings are the fully developed personality of their suit. That pentacle, it's about growth and abundance. The more we're able to reflect on and start to make small shifts, acknowledging aspects and pieces that are going well, amplifying that time and energy with those aspects that are working for us, we're going to see that abundance grow. Now, I did say at the beginning of the reading, we have to be mindful of people's interaction with us. That every day is going to be impacting us. People's demands, people's wishes, their needs are going to come up and try and misdirect and redirect you from that important reflection, which is going to diminish and tarnish Midas. You're not going to see that abundance because you're not raising your vibration. You're getting caught up in that everyday mundane that is misdirecting you from your goal. It's essential that we set in those healthy boundaries and ask people to take on aspects and pieces that are really theirs. And yes, I acknowledge many of us have signed up to be that carer role, whether it be for small children, relatives and family members, parents. There's lots of people that we're caring for. Putting back on them aspects and pieces that really should be theirs. Allowing them to grow and learn, especially when it comes to kids. Let's look at the challenge. And the people aspect isn't the main challenge. It's just an added struggle that we're going to have. They're going to be impacted themselves by that chaotic, anxious energy. And they're going to be reacting to it. Not everybody is on the same path, nor are they acknowledging the energies around us. So we have to be mindful of that going in. What challenge can my rose quartz friends expect for the week of September 6th through to the 12th? The Eight of Swords. Eights are about movement and manifestation, which is kind of hard to believe when you look at the Eight of Swords. The Eight of Swords talks about how we have penned ourselves in due to experiences that have occurred. Now, swords themselves are about knowledge. They're not about emotion. However, we're emotional beings, so we attach emotion to situations and events. It's not wrong of us, it's just how we roll. It's essential that we start to look at these events for their knowledge, rather than that emotion that has kind of bound us up. We feel stuck. It's not the knowledge or the situation that has occurred that is causing stagnation or that stuckness. It's the emotions attached to it. That's what we're going to feel as we're trying to, embrace Midas, reflect on and make some small changes in our everyday. This sadness and heartache is going to override our ability to reflect in. Our ego is going to tantrum this week because reflection and redirection means change. And change is a very scary word for your ego. So it's going to throw up some amazing signals that's going to try and shock and slow you down. Acknowledging them for what they are. We don't need to heal or deal with them. We can say, brain, no, we're not going there. I refuse. And if your brain keeps going, then that's when you need to start to use tools to support you in overcoming your ego. Meditations are fantastic. Redirection through creativity. Crystals. Visualizations. Taking that time, and again, going back to that critical thinking, we need to function from our head, not our heart this week, so that we're able to make some decisions that are in our best interest. I have a number of meditations that are free, and they're a guided meditation, so it's a little bit easier to meditate. The one that comes to mind right away, because we are going to be dealing with a little bit of that harder emotion, is either Archangel Sandalphon, where we were looking at balance and harmony within self, or possibly Archangel Zadkiel, where we were looking at that forgiveness. You could also tap into Archangel Shamuel for that self-love. You can scroll through that list, and whichever one resonates with you is the one that you need right now. You can visit or revisit them as often as you want. They're free, and they're about 30 minutes. So let's look at some more blessings. What blessing can my rose quartz friends embrace for the week of September 6th through to the 12th? All right, so the first one that hit the table, deceit. We're going to have to be careful not only with our ego, but with those other individuals in our lives. There are people that will try and turn us around and misdirect us for their own entertainment. Many people not only are feeling anxious, but are feeling bored. So the best way for entertainment is to stir the pot in other people's lives so that they explode. Again, going back to that critical thinking. We have to be mindful of others, their impact to us, and what it is they're really after. That reflecting back in critical thinking can help outwit and outmaneuver many people. You're not going to be so much of a target if you're like, oh, this is the information I'm getting from you. You want me to, go poke a bear in the nose. When you critically think about it, it's not a safe thing to do. And when you put it back on another individual, they're like, oh, no, I'd never. You become less of a target, and your vibration raises exponentially. Third chakra, Archangel Shamuel. Did just speak of Archangel Shamuel. He's actually connected to the rose quartz, as that light pinky color is his auric color, and he talks about self-love. He's a fantastic archangel to connect in with loving ourselves and understanding ourselves a lot more. Like I said, I have a meditation with him. It was one of the first 5, 6 that I did, so it would be further in the list. It's a fantastic one to do to reconnect in and understand ourselves a little bit more. Now, Archangel Chamuel is not an archangel I usually connect in with our solar plexus, which is our 3rd chakra. I usually connect him more with our heart chakra, which would be the 4th chakra. That love, that sense of self. Now, your solar plexus is your inner flame, that inner passion. I usually connect that more with Archangel Uriel. However, you are going to need that solar plexus energy to take on that ego and to stay in that high vibrational, critical thinking mindset. We'll need that courage, we'll need that determination. When you start to feel yourself waver or you start to feel a little bit unable to do this, you can start to look at and focus in on a yellow orb that is right in your tummy area, just like where it is here. See it shining bright. There's nothing in it but this beautiful yellow color. You can call on Archangel Uriel to strengthen and help support you to overcome whatever challenge you're facing. It goes back to that energy flow. We need that energy flow and that balance within self to take on our ego and to take on those everyday misdirects that happen. So we're going to end off on any final insight, wisdom, and guidance that we can share with my rose quartz friends for the week of September 6th through to the 12th. The Page of Pentacles. She's come up, I think, in every reading I've done for this week. We have that grounding energy of the pentacle. It's an essential element to help us overcome this week's challenge and to reflect in and understand what we really need to understand. And then we have the page, that playful, fun, inquisical mind, the ability to look at things through a new lens. We need that inquisical energy to help us reflect in and see what's really important. We also need that fun to balance out some of this reflection. Let's be honest, reflection can be pretty heavy. It does trigger a lot of emotion with us. That fun and playful energy will help balance out some of these harder, more challenging aspects of the week. The High Priestess. The second card in the Major Arcana talks about that connection to the higher vibrational beings, our clairs, and also that connection to the universal wisdom. She always holds a scroll or a book. It's the scroll or tome of the universal wisdom. She is very much our guide and our support in connecting in with those clairs and with that wisdom. She's a gatekeeper. She usually has 2 pillars, one black and one white. Again, going back to that need for that balance. But when you pass her, she also has this really flamboyant pomegranate backdrop. When you pass through that gate, it's a rite of passage. You have better understanding of your skills and your abilities, and you strengthen those natural skills and abilities to gain the direction that you need. And this week does offer us that rite of passage, that redirection into what's truly important. We need that redirection to help us realign to our soul's deeper purpose, which will, of course, give us that abundance and fulfillment that we're looking for. The Tower, the 16th card in the Major Arcana. The universe is tired of waiting. Anytime you see the Tower come in, you're looking at that swift change. That swift change is going to occur. Now, depending on what choices and direction we take this week will depend on whether this lightning hits us or strikes around us. Whether it's going to be a direct full-on assault where we have lots of pain and heartache, or if it snaps at our feet and just gets us going a little bit better. The Tower doesn't always mean that we're going to be, on fire and that there's going to be major shifts. It can also encourage us forward, especially if we're already on the right track. We'll know if we're on the right track because things start to fall in place. The universe rewards us for our hard work, for all that we're achieving, all that we're trying to do. If we're off on a different tangent, the universe is going to tell us this week, my friends. You're going to feel that shift. It's going to bring you really in line with where you need to be. Now, again, it's going to be essential that we focus from our head, not our heart, because the heart will just cause stagnation. And we kind of, like toddlers, we stomp our feet and push them into the ground so we don't move. That just aggravates the universe and makes this come back again and again, stronger and stronger until we learn our lesson. This came in at the end of the reading. This is not a highlighted part to your reading. It's a reminder that the universe is getting tired of our stagnation. We do need to do some reflection. We do need to make some choices for our greater good, because the universe will start to snap at our feet. Will start to zap us in the butt until we get going and get that ball rolling. I want to thank you guys so very much for spending time with me today and watching this video. I hope that you found this video fun and helpful, and you're able to gain some insight and direction into what the week holds for you. If you like this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel for the latest content. There is so much more coming your way, my friends. The best way to stay connected so you don't miss out on any of this healing and insight is to subscribe to my channel and hit that little red bell so you don't miss a video. Also, if you enjoyed this video and want to support me in making more, I have a Patreon page. And yes, I know a lot of people have Patreon pages. And of course mine have lots of tiers and lots of perks. And many of the perks do include free readings and healings for myself. However, I also have Patreon exclusive videos for my supporters. I provided a helpful link below, so why not go check it out. Until tomorrow, my rose quartz friends.